Australia has gotten a lot of attention in the coaster community as of late. Almost every park has gotten, or is in the midst of getting a big expansion with multiple new roller coasters. I recently visited Australia for my first and only time in 2023, hitting the major parks on the East Coast. So in this video, I will rank my top 10 favorite roller coasters I personally experienced in Australia. Before starting the countdown, 5 things I need to note. First, I have reviews already published for any ride that earned an official spot in the list outside of number 10. Second, I will include honorable mentions in this list for roller coasters I have experienced clones of or near clones elsewhere. This won't be an official spot because different clones can run differently in terms of speed and smoothness though. Third, I did not visit Melbourne and that Luna Park in this trip. Therefore, you will not see the Scenic Railway on this list. I've heard it's not a particularly thrilling ride, so it likely would have been near the bottom of this list. But that being said, it is a very historic ride that circles the perimeter of the park multiple times, and it still operates with a brakeman or brakewoman. Fourth, I visited in early 2023. This means my visit was before Warner Bros. Movie World opened the new Wizard of Oz area with 3 new coasters from Vekoma. There will be a suspended coaster that's a clone of Orcana at Fair Oops Summerland, and dueling family boomerangs that'll be clones of Twist Ride at Wildlands Adventure Zoo. Likewise, Dreamworld is opening Jungle Rush next year. This will be a unique coaster from Vekoma with a turntable, a dozen airtime moments, and impressive theming. Fifth, I encountered a few unfortunate ride closures. Since I have not ridden a clone of these coasters elsewhere, they will not place in this list. This included Jet Rescue at SeaWorld. This is a really nice looking Intamin motorbike coaster, but unfortunately, it was down for unscheduled maintenance when I visited. It has 2 launches, hugs the ground, and appears to have great pacing. If this ride's like the second half of Jubilant or Summerland, meaning it has a great sense of speed and some sneaky forceful elements, this should be a punchy ride that would have placed towards the middle of the list. Another one I missed is Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster at Warner Bros. Movie World. This looks to be one of the world's best Wild Mouse coasters. This mock creation's extensive theming around the live-action Scooby-Doo movie, but it closed for a multi-year refurbishment. As it stands, the ride has multiple dark ride scenes in the start and end of the experience. Then the main layout has a surprise at the start, before the usual series of hairpin turns and dips in the dark. I also missed another Wild Mouse, specifically the wooden one at Luna Park Sydney. I've now seen 2 wooden Wild Mice, yet both have been closed for me. I've heard these are a lot more thrilling than their steel counterparts, offering some wild airtime on the drops. This ride has been closed for almost a year at this point for track work with no estimated reopening. Hopefully it opens soon. Now let's move into the official list. Number 10. Roadrunner Roller Coaster at Warner Bros. Movie World. Something had to claim the 10th spot, and it goes to this extended Vekoma roller skater. The initial helix is a bit of force to it. Then the standard layout is plussed by some rock work and audio effects. Up next would have been Boomerang at Luna Park Sydney. This ride was closed for refurbishment, but I've ridden its clone in Rewind Racers at Adventure City. This is Gerstlauer's take on the family shuttle coaster. Most of the layout is mild and on par for the course for a family coaster, but the backwards helix has some genuinely good force to it. Number 9. Moto Coaster at Dreamworld. Intamin's first straddle coaster is unfortunately the weakest one out there. You have an uninspired layout with slow drawn out turns. It just doesn't have the same sense of speed as the later ones. The launch and first turn are decent at least. I know some find the restraints too awkward to be enjoyable, but I think the motorbike position is fine once you get into it, and I still think it's a net positive here. I just wish the overall layout was stronger. Up next would have been Dingo Racer at Aussie World. This is a newer Reverchon spinning coaster with a bank turn after the first drop. I rode one of these in Heidi the Coaster in a German fair circuit. While the turn helps the pacing in one spot, the overall experience rides similar to your usual spinning Wild Mouse. You have a few zippy drops, then the second half can spin you like a top. Up next is where I'd place Surf Rider at Warner Bros. Movie World. I've ridden several of these Intamin half-pipes. They typically offer a ride comparable to a big frisbee. You get weightlessness on the spikes with some positives in the valley. Some spin more than others, but Australia's will be notable for its placement smack dab in the center of Superman. This should yield some cool visuals on-ride. Number 8. Storm Coaster at SeaWorld. This mock water coaster is a solid water ride. Most of the coaster section feels a bit gimmicky, but I do like the ending. You have a big drop with some airtime, then you levitate out of your seat on a bunny hill that follows. You then hit the final splashdown, getting quite wet, and then you float back to the station, but not before passing through a dark ride section with some theming. You have all sorts of navigation equipment around you. Up next is where I likely place TNT at Camboya World. This is a Vekoma family suspended coaster as a clone of Orcana at Fairhope Summerland. It is a glass-smooth family coaster with fun turns and helixes. Then you have a shockingly good start. You have a sizable drop into a tunnel, followed by a punchy overbank that's so sharp, it feels like an inversion. And remember, Warner Bros. Movie World is gonna get a clone of this ride next year too. Up next is where I'd place Project Zero Camboya World. I've ridden a few of these Mauer Sky Loops. These rides start with a vertical lift hill that bends backwards, fully inverting riders. This transition and subsequent barrel roll have amazing hang time. Then you have another roll that leads into a forceful dive loop. You then rock back and forth, getting some extra hang time and weightlessness. The one con with this coaster is that the final stop is brutal. The restraints hug your tummy, so when you stop on an incline, it delivers a gut punch that can knock the wind out of you. Number 7. Gold Coaster at Dreamworld. This is an above-average aero looper. This one has a weird layout by front-loading the turns and back-loading the inversions, but I think it works. I like how this one maintains its speed, and the ride has some very forceful elements in the second half. This includes the far turn and the 2 inversions, and the vest restraints eliminate any possible headbanging, although the ride tracks well enough anyway. The one thing this ride is missing is a spot of airtime or two. Number 6. Green Lantern at Warner Bros. Movie World. If you've ridden any of the SNSL locos outside the Adventure Dome one, this ride is nearly identical. The one change is that this one does have lap bars unlike the first few. The ride doesn't have the tightest pacing, but several elements are fun. The ride's biggest strengths are the 2 inversions, and the lap bars augment the already fantastic hang time. Then you have some funky turns and one of the world's steepest drops. I love the visual of the ladder, and you get some airtime, but not as much as you may suspect due to a trim break. Number 5. Big Dipper at Luna Park, Sydney. The prototype Intamin Hot Racer may not be as extreme as the RMC single rails that came before it, but it is still a quality coaster. The second half is quite good. The launch has some good power, the non-inverting loop and reverse sidewinder pull good Gs, plus they offer good views too. The one bunny hill afterwards offers nice floater airtime, and the second half's pacing and constant directional changes made me dizzy. One con along with that aforementioned intensity is that the seats towards the back do have a pretty bad rattle to them, so I would recommend riding towards the front if you're sensitive to that. Up next is where I would likely place Abyss at Adventure World. While this layout is technically custom, it is extremely similar to Saw the Ride at Thorpe Park, so I am placing that coaster off of that one. Both rides start off with an enclosed section and a surprise hang-time filled inversion. Then you head outdoors for the main layout. The Beyond vertical drop is wicked ejector airtime. Then the rest of the layout has really good pacing for this model. You have some disorienting inversions and a good airtime pop or two. The one con is that this ride is over the shoulder restraints, so some of the transitions can bop your head if you're not careful, so you may want to lean forwards. Number 4. Steel Titan at Dreamworld. This mock launch coaster is a near clone of Europa Park's Bluefire with 2 key changes. First, you have a swing launch. While the acceleration is not quite as abrupt as the single launch of Bluefire, the first and second launches have okay kicks to them. Then the Twisted Spike is a disorienting maneuver and has crushing Gs at the base. Second and more notably, you have the tail whip spinning seat in the back. The car spins at a very slow and controlled rate, but taking these elements sideways and backwards makes them so much better. You have some spots of airtime, and 4 inversions that'll get you out of your seat. The best part of this layout has always been that last barrel roll. It is similar to the Mosasaurus roll of Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure. It's great in any row, but the spinning row really elevates the experience in my opinion. Number 3. Superman Escape at Warner Bros. Movie World. This is one of the best Intamin accelerator coasters. It is the best themed one for sure. The coaster starts off with an extended dark ride section. Metropolis is being hit with an earthquake. You pass shaking lockers, a flood, and a crashed police car. Superman, who is on the back of the train, then promises to push you to safety. The main coaster section starts with a very forceful hydraulic launch. It really yanks you forwards. Then you head outdoors for 3 big airtime hills and some low turns. The Top Hat and Camelbacks offer very strong ejector airtime. Then the low turns at blistering speed, with the one after the Top Hat standing out because it offers gray-out inducing forces as well. Number 2. Leviathan at SeaWorld. This Gravity Group creation is an incredibly well-paced wood coaster. You haul start to finish, rocketing over bunny hills and sharply banked turns. There are at least a dozen spots of airtime. It's all floater, but you have a mix of sustained moments and quicker pops. And it's even more chaotic if you experience this layout in a backward seat. And since it's a new coaster, it is very smooth, and I hope that remains the case over the years. Last but not least, this coaster has some really cool theming as part of the pre-boarding experience. That station is a work of art between the themed cavern and the TV screens with the sea creatures swimming about you. And coming in number 1 is DC Rivals Hypercoaster in Warner Bros. Movie World. This mock Hypercoaster was my number 1 bucket list coaster, and it was a fantastic ride. The layout is super diverse. The start and end feature strong ejector airtime. That near vertical twisting drop offers intense negative Gs and laterals simultaneously. The giant Camelback offers several seconds of airtime. And the non-inverting loop may be the best of all, blending wild laterals with vicious airtime. Then the finale features bunny hills with some powerful airtime as well. The middle section offers a smattering of forces, as you have a lot of low transitions and S-hills mixing airtime pops, laterals, and positive Gs. While this part does have a minor pacing issue in most rows, it is rectified by the ride's backward seats. That row is special. The twists become very disorienting, and no other ride offers as much ejector airtime in reverse. It is a magical experience. So those are the top 10 roller coasters I personally experienced in Australia, plus some honorable mentions based on experiences on similar rides elsewhere. What are your favorite coasters in Australia, or thoughts on any of the rides I mentioned? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.